And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
All right. So who's the dragon there? Let's pin that one down.
Yeah.
Let's get it straight. Who's
That's
that dragon?
that's NATO. That's the.
No. Yeah, but I want you to break down the dragon. Who's that? We gotta say it. Because you just mentioned history, so we gotta go back to what? Come on. The garden. Yes. So bring the history, and then we'll go into it. Yeah, we can go to the serpent. We need to take our time because it's for the
I'll go
Let's go back.
Genesis 4?
Yeah, we can go there. Yeah, just bring that history and then quick hit it, and then we'll move on to the old serpent, the devil.
Did you have it?
And Esau. You got it?
It's Revelation 12 as well, but you want me to get it in Genesis?
Yeah, get that. Just for because the brother mentioned history, so just quickly hit on that and then go back to Revelation. You know what I'm saying?
I can start at Genesis 3.
Go down and hit the point. Yeah, go ahead.
Genesis 3:1, it says, Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
And the beast of the field is other nations again. So, so the so-called white man, right? He is basically the head honcho, right? Ruling NATO, because all those European countries makes up the beast. So he is the most agile and subtle of all other beasts, because other nations outside of Israel are all beasts, man. Right? Even our two-third people, without the truth, they're known as beasts. Right?
Right, and those draconian laws, that's what I wanted to get into. That's what this old serpent's pushing, right? Same thing over all these nations. And we know that it's really about him coming after the hopeful elect. Read.
It's because the serpent is very cruel, right? Because that's how it functions.
Yeah.
You know.
It says, Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh of power had made. And he said unto the woman, hath Yahweh said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent.
That's the philosophies.
Go ahead. Have we listed them before?
And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, Ye shall not eat of it.
All right, beautiful. Touch really quick on that. Anybody got any thoughts on that? What tree of knowledge and good and evil? That's Esau's tree.
Well, basically, what the serpent did right there is a transgress of law, talking to a man's wife, because those laws wasn't given to her; it was given to her man, to her husband Adam. Right? So he went around what we would ask a woman, "Are you married? Bring your husband." So this serpent went and talked to the man's wife, known as the weaker vessel, and told her all these things. You know what I mean? It sounds good to her. You know, so you mean I don't listen to a man? I can eat pork. You know what I mean? I can take the vaccine and go back to work. Miss my work friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what they're saying right now, man. I miss my work, man. I miss my work friends. You know what I mean? So this thing is a you're saying 5 years ago. It's been from the beginning of the world, right? This plan, okay? Because this vaccine has been pushed on us from like as a youth in the Caribbean, you had to take a vaccine. Okay, and it says, so go to law, go to where you were right now. So Leviticus 19:28 says, "You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh or the dead, okay, nor print any marks upon you." Every person right now is alive, you know, it has some kind of mark, right? And that's what he did, and we thought it was normal. Okay, so he's all in pushing this vaccine stuff. You know what the major vaccine? We're saying because the Most has put a spirit in us and woke us up and we're standing on our feet, making us upright again. To say, you know what? No, we don't want this man's vaccine because it goes against the scriptures. Yeah. You know what I mean? At one point I thought it was okay, but now it's going against the scriptures. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got a good point based off what you said, because I'll read this real quick again. It says, "And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die." And the brother said that, you know, the serpent broke a law by going to the woman first, which is funny because that's the same characteristic as Esau. You know, these banking families, the elites, when they go to a Jake home, they target the woman first. Like, listen, if you want, if you want the benefits that come with my kingdom, your husband needs to be out of the house. So you're gonna, and that's why they create division in the household. The fathers are not there because they're catching hell from the woman, because it goes back to the curse. You know, your seed shall be against his seed, enmity with his seed, the serpent's seed. And as men, we're always like, yo, where are you learning this from? Why are you acting like this? Because I didn't bring this upon you. So Esau's has been, like the brother said, has been infiltrating since the beginning of time.
That's right. That old serpent with his draconian ways, right to this point. And that's what this is going to bring. But I just wanted to touch real quick on the history. Right? You can go back.
Go back.
Let's say it's the most subtle of all the beasts from them times.
You know? And still subtle with his draconian ways. So his draconian ways is his brain, Esau's brain now is at the back where the animal lives. That time his brain was here. Right? But it's still, that's just a figure of speech to show where we are. He's an animal. He was always an animal. Read on, brother. Daniel 2, what verse is that? The point ends in 45, by the way, which is really full of information.
Actually, I got the etymology of the word dragon.
Excellent.
We read Genesis, talking about the serpent, to go into the history. So I'm going to read Revelation 13 and 3 again, and then we're going to look at the etymology of the word dragon. So it says, and I saw one of his heads, Revelation 13 and 3, I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast, because, you know, the Renaissance age, Esau was coming back up into power, and Rome at that time was like the Mecca of the world, you know, the known world. Art came out of there, music, all these type of things came out of there, and that's been watered down to America. America is just Rome spiritually.
Yeah, the daughter of Babylon.
Right, and it's such a big wonder that we still, like, you still watch history pieces on Rome, because, you know, it was at the highest peak in the world. So it says, and they worship,
because it was a melting pot. Because really, you had a lot of Israelites there too, that were building up the place and making it great.
We're making it great.
Just like how America is today. Because everybody, if you look at all the great things, it's Jake who's running it.
Former of all things. And it says, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? Because at one point, these other nations couldn't come up against America because of the military, because of their weaponry, because Esau was blessed with the sword. Right? So now we're not in that time, because, you know, Russia is not scared of America anymore. You know, these different nations are not scared of America and are ready to go to blows with them. Hence why there's going to be missiles being shot forth, back and forth. But at one point, America was that city, like Rome, and no one was trying to, you know, for lack of a better term, fuck with it. Now, the word now the beast is NATO, because the military, the dragon, now I got the word dragon.
NATO and the EU.
And the serpent, if you need the definition as well.
So, it says, dragon, the etymology says, a fabulous animal common to conceptions of many races and people. And it says, from Old French dragon, directly from Latin, I can't really pronounce the word, it says huge serpent. You see, a huge serpent, dragon, from Greek, serpent, because dragons and snakes are all reptiles. So still a serpent.
And they're cold-blooded too.
Yeah.
You know, and that represents their cruelty and how smart they're going to be and evil they are.
Yeah, that's true. Serpent, giant, sea fish. So, you know, that's basically the point. The dragon is the serpent. So that's that old serpent that we're reading about in Esau again.
I got serpent, biblical etymology of it. It's nahas, the Hebrew word for the word serpent there, referred to both in the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament. The symbol of a serpent or a snake played important roles in religious and cultural life, right? It says here, I'm gonna drop down to the serpent was a symbol of evil power and chaos, which what Eve brought to Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what that was, which is, you know, not to veer off, but that was supposed to happen because we're supposed to know, because we're going to be judges. We're supposed to know both sides. Well, that's why the serpent is subtle, because he knew that. That's why he said what he said, you know. But that's chaos and confusion, because that's the society we live in now.
Yep. From the underworld as a symbol of fertility, life, and healing, right? It's also associated with divination and